Good morning, everybody. My name is Gabby. We are here with Morty at Best Paw Forward. We have Victoria handling him today. And what we are working on with him today, we are wrapping up his second week with us here. He's a part of our puppy school program. So we are going to go through a little bit of what he's been working on this week and where he's at with everything. So first thing we worked with him on is a little bit of place behavior. So going on to a place, it can be a place like we have here. It could be one like that green one over there. We've got a couple of different ones on that side. Or it could be a dog bed. It could be a spot on the carpet. It could be a towel. Does not matter what. So there he got a little bit excited. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop that leash and we are gonna walk away. We are not gonna give him that attention that he wants from that leash biting. And if need be, if he continues to do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that leash off so he can't continue to play with it, and we're gonna put it away. He has gotten a lot better over the past week or two with this. So there, he tried to turn it into a game of tug of war. So what Victoria did is she just dropped that. She's gonna try to get that attention back on her, toss that treat away, and be able to pick that up and put it away, because we don't want to turn this behavior into a game. Okay, so a lot of German Shepherds have that leash biting, that mouthing behavior, and we don't want to continue to encourage that behavior by having that leash on, having him play with it during the session. So we're just going to continue that session without it on. We're going to put him up onto that place, get him into a little bit of a routine. So that is what we've been doing with him as well. So working him in between two places has really helped with him, kind of getting him used to it, going back and forth, having him sit on one, having him maybe go into a down on the other place. Routines really tend to help, especially dogs like German Shepherds, kind of get back into the swing of things, especially after something like that where he was leash biting. So he's back, he's focused on Victoria again. He did a couple of treat tosses. Another thing, very important, that Victoria did is she remained calm. She didn't get frustrated. She didn't, start to get upset or anything like that. She was stern with telling him to drop. She picked up that leash, she put it away, and she just continued. If you start to get frustrated, what I want you to do is take a little bit of a break, put him away for a little bit, and then come back to it. Because if you're frustrated, he's gonna get more frustrated, and then he's going to start to act up even more. So remaining calm, like Victoria did there, very, very important. Good, so he's back into it. He's doing his sits. He's freed, he can go up. And you can see he actually gets into that routine. So now he knows the next thing he's gonna have to do after he gets off that one place is go on to that other. Very nice. Gets him refocused. So this is a great thing to do if you're working on another session and he starts to lose focus, is to do a little bit of a routine. So have a couple different places out. Go through them, have him stand on one, have him sit on the next, have him go into a down on the next. It makes him think and it makes him kind of get into that training zone. Very nice. So next thing we worked with him on is a little bit of leave it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move a little bit closer. We can actually do it on the screen, please. That's fine. Okay, so when you're starting out leave it, you're starting it in your hand, piece of food. Yes. Holding that food out. As soon as his nose comes off of that hand, you're gonna mark with a yes. We're not gonna ask him for that leave it in the beginning. Once he starts getting into the hang of looking away from that hand, looking at us, giving us that eye contact that we want, then we can start to add in that word, leave it. Very nice. So there he popped out. When you're starting leave it, we want him in a sit or a down. And we start out with food, but eventually Leave It can be used for many different things. It can be used for objects when you're out on a walk. It can be used for people. It can be used for dogs. So a bunch of different things it can be used for, but when we start out with just a piece of kibble.
Yes.
Very nice. That was great. She asked for that Leave It. She had an open hand. He was able to visibly see that food, and he gave her eye contact once she asked for that Leave It. That's what we're marking and reinforcing. Awesome. That's exactly what we want to see. Next thing we worked on, a little bit of grooming, a little bit of just dropped one of the toys. Come on, let's go. Please. So a little bit of grooming. Good boy. So, first thing, first thing when you're starting out working on this at home, all we're doing is we're having that brush in hand and we're just working with him. You can work with him on sit, you can work with him on place. Just having it out and him getting used to it without him actually going for it. So there he tried to mouth. Victoria put it behind her back. So very important to work on this stuff with him so that when you do have to get him brushed or he does have to go to the groomers or something like that, that he is used to this and it's not scary. So starting out what Victoria is doing right there, giving him that reinforcement as she brushes him a little bit, does it a couple of times. Very nice. And then she'll stop, give him a little bit of a break, and then she'll do a couple more brushes. Very nice. Then eventually what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to start brushing him without having to give that reinforcement during. So same thing with the clippers, having them out, just getting him used to it. He can sniff it. We don't want him biting at it, obviously. She's moving it around, manipulating it a little bit. There, she's putting it close to his paw. If he goes to mouth it, then she's gonna put it behind her back. She's gonna tell him, Very nice. So very gradual. So starting to move closer.
Yes.
And then another thing she can start to do is do a little bit of body handling. So touching that paw, very nice. Just a couple of seconds, getting him used to it, checking in his ears. And this is gonna help a lot when you take him to the vet. He's already being handled and worked with at home. Awesome, very nice. So I'm gonna grab the toys real quick. We're just gonna pause this. He's doing a great job though. Okay, last thing that we worked on with him is a little bit of drop it with play. We did try drop it with items as well, but he actually wasn't really picking anything up here. So we're working a little bit on drop it with the toys. So when you're working on this at home, work on this with two similar or almost identical actually toys. That way he's not favoring one over the other and it's a little bit easier to get him to drop that. Very nice. Good. So making sure he's playing appropriately. He's not jumping up. He's not mouthing. Very nice. We asked for that drop.
Ready?
Very. And then we'll toss that ball. As long as he's not trying to jump up on us, he's able to nicely. Very nice. Awesome. So he's able to drop on that verbal now. In the beginning, what you might have to do, bounce that ball a couple times, kind of toss that toy a little bit in your hand just to get him to notice that you have another one. You can also do drop it for food reward as well. He really likes to play. You can do drop it for food reward as well. So in that case, you're gonna ask for that drop. In the beginning, you're gonna throw a piece of food on the ground when you ask for that drop. As he starts to get better with it, you'll be able to get to the point where you're able to ask him for a drop without that food visible. And then give him that food once he does.
Yes.
He's doing an excellent job. Wrapping up his second week with us. He has learned a lot this week. You guys have any questions on this? Let us know. We will see you at pickup today.